The crypto world is just this wild mix, isn't it? You've got these high-stakes market moves on one side, real-world innovation on the other, and then just moments of pure, unexpected chaos. Today, we're going to try and capture all of that by zooming in on just a single, really hectic day. All right, let's get into it. First things first, let's take the temperature of the market. We're going to use a big one, Cardano, or ADA, as kind of our barometer for the mood of the whole ecosystem. And what we're finding is a market that really can't seem to make up its mind. So on one hand, you've got the charts, and they're flashing some definite warning signs. There's this downward pressure, and if that key support level around 47 cents breaks, well, the price could take a pretty serious tumble. But then, on the other hand, the really big players, the ones we call whales, they're doing the exact opposite. They are buying. It's this classic showdown between short-term fear and long-term belief. And when I say they're buying, I mean they are buying. We are talking about a whopping 50 million ADA being scooped up recently by wallets that hold between 1 and 10 million tokens. Now, this isn't just a small flutter. This is a massive vote of confidence from what a lot of people call the smart money. So why are they so sure? Well, if you zoom out, the long-term picture gets really interesting. Some analysts say the network is building compression, which is really just a fancy way of saying it's like a spring coiling up for a potentially huge move later on. And this isn't just wishful thinking. It's backed by some serious network upgrades like Hydra and Ouroboros Laos. These are designed to make the network way faster and more scalable. That's a solid structural reason for optimism. And on top of all that, it looks like the big institutions are starting to take notice. Okay, so while all the traders and whales are battling it out on the charts, let's pivot a bit, because other people are just heads down, building real stuff. We're going to shift away from the market speculation and look at some tangible progress that's happening right now over in Europe. And man, this quote just nails that whole spirit. It's from Massimo Lucchidi. He's the president of a major Italian innovation foundation and a well-respected journalist. He's talking about a project called Nuvola. And a statement like this, well, it shows that this project is getting noticed in the mainstream, way outside the usual crypto bubble. And look how deep this goes. We're not just talking about a blog post here. Nuvola got featured in Agenzparl, that's an Italian parliamentary press agency, and covered by Agipress, a national news agency that's been around since 1967. They're in serious talks about how their whole decentralized infrastructure model can actually help with Italy's national digital transformation. This is what it looks like when crypto stops being a niche interest and starts becoming part of a national conversation. So you've got market tension and real-world building all happening at the same time. Everything's moving along, and then, completely out of the blue, bam! A crisis hits, and it's one that has nothing to do with crypto directly, but it ends up affecting almost everybody online. Just like that, a key service that pretty much holds up a huge chunk of the modern web just stopped working, and that sent shockwaves across the entire digital world. The culprit? It was a massive global outage at Cloudflare. And in an instant, dozens of crypto projects, Metera Protocol, Pulse, Fluxpoint Studios, Strike Finance, you name it, they all found their websites and dashboards were just gone. It was a pretty harsh reminder of how much the so-called decentralized world can still depend on a few single centralized points of failure. Okay, but this is where the story gets really good. A crisis is the ultimate test, right? It shows you what a team is really made of. So let's see how these different projects handled the chaos in real time. The team at Pulse was in a seriously tough spot. They were supposed to launch a presale that day, but their response was just a masterclass in handling a crisis. First, they got the word out immediately. There's a delay. Then, instead of just giving up, they got creative. They shared a direct wallet address so people could still contribute manually. And get this, they actually managed to launch successfully right in the middle of all the disruption. Incredible. So, did that risky move pay off? Oh yeah, you bet it did. In just the first few hours of that improvised launch, they pulled in over 450,000 ADA. It just goes to show their quick thinking and total transparency worked. It proved how much their community really trusts them. Now, other teams took different routes, which is also really interesting to see. Strike Finance went totally hands-on. They offered to help users with urgent stuff manually through support tickets. Meanwhile, Fluxpoint Studios played it a bit more cautiously. They basically said, hey everyone, probably best to just stay off the platform until this is all sorted out. Different problems, different solutions, but everyone was focused on protecting their users. So a huge crisis hits. Teams adapt on the fly, and the community rallies. But what's really amazing to me is that while all of this frantic firefighting was going on, the actual foundational work of building the ecosystem, it never even skipped a beat. And, this contrast is really what defines the crypto space. It's not just about surviving the crazy price swings or the random outages. At its very core, it's about this constant, relentless forward motion of building new things. For example, on this exact same chaotic day, the Infinity Rising project was putting the final touches on a brand new liquidity rewards program. So what we're looking at here is how they've structured the rewards. 60% goes to encouraging deep WETH liquidity, which helps with price stability. 30% rewards those who capture the most trading fees, and 10% supports the rise side of the pool. It's just a really thoughtful design aimed at creating a stable, healthy market. And this wasn't the only thing going on. The Infinity Rising program was set to go live the very next day. At the same time, Gero Wallet was busy finishing up a big token airdrop to its community, sending rewards out to all their eligible stakers. The engine of development, it just keeps humming along no matter what's happening on the surface. So when you just step back and look at a single day like this, one that's packed with market pressure, real-world adoption, a surprise global crisis, and nonstop building, it really gets you thinking. We talk all the time about technology being the key innovation in this space. But in an environment this chaotic, maybe the most important innovation, the one that really matters, is just resilience. What do you think?